Hello all. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about conditional statements. So in our previous lecture, we had seen control statements, right? In that I had said there are two types of control statements. One is branching statements and the other one is looping or iterative statements. In that branching, we had seen conditional and unconditional. I mean, as I had said, there are two types of branching statements. First one is unconditional and second one is conditional. So all the unconditional statements we had seen in our last lecture. So now we'll be seeing regarding our conditional statements. Okay, so we'll see one by one with the example, and also we'll see execution of these conditional statements. Okay, so first conditional statement is if. So as the name itself indicate that you are trying to give some conditions to execute some set of statements, right? So that is the reason the name here it is conditional statements. So you are going to give some constraints for that. That is, if I tell yes, so do you do this one? If I tell no, then you do that, right? So what you're doing, you're trying to give some constraints for that. So as you know, in this you are having if else and switch case statements. So these are the three statements which will be covered in your conditional statements. So all these three works with the conditional statements. Okay, so we'll see one by one first. So first comes here if statement. So the syntax of is if in C program is if. You should write the keyword if, and you need to write the test expression, that is nothing but whatever the condition you wanted to give, and then you need to give the flower bracket, and then you need to write your code, and then you need to close it with the flower bracket, right? If statement evaluates the test expression inside the parenthesis. So this test expression is nothing but the condition what you are giving for that if statement. If the test expression is evaluated to true, statements inside the body will be executed. If it is false, statements inside the body will not be executed. So this is what actually happens in the if loop. If the condition is true, you will execute the set of statements which are there in that flower bracket. If the condition is false, you will not execute the statements which are under the if condition. Okay, right. So coming to here in this part, you doesn't have if condition is true or false. Okay, you will have only if the condition is true, you will do something. If no condition, you will just come out of that loop. Okay. Yes. So this is what the example here program is. Hash include stdio.h. Then I had given void main. Then I declared a variable, initialized I is equals to 2. And then I had given, I had declared some variable n. And what I was just trying to do here is printf enter n value. So I was asking user to enter some n value. You are reading that into the variable n. And here what do I am doing? I am just checking the condition. If I, what is the I value here? 2, right? 2 is less than or equals to n. So if I give n value greater than 2, then it will print hello. If I don't give the value greater than 2, then you doesn't get any output. You'll get a blank statement. Or else after writing this if part, if I execute any other statements in this without condition, like I just wanted to print quit, right? Just print quit from if. I had been quitted from if. So that one you will get from the output. Okay. So yeah. So this is what your if condition, and then what you're trying to print. So what output you'll get? Enter n value. If you give less than 2, greater than 2, it prints the output as hello. If you give less than 2, then it will print the if it doesn't print any value, it will just show you the empty prompt. Okay, so we'll just execute this program. Right, so we'll just execute this if program and we'll see how it happens here. So this was the IDE what we are using for writing the C program. So the same program I had written here, you just check out once. hash include stdio.h and then main, and I declared here, there I had given 2, right? So, okay, fine, let me give here also again 2. And then printf enter n value. You are reading the n value, and then that is being stored in the n by the scanf, and you are checking the value I less than or equals to n. I value is 2 I had given. If I give greater than or I value should be less than or equals to n, then it will print hello, right? So this is what the condition. So let us once save this, and yeah, let me compile this. So this was the compilation symbol. Just click on that. If any errors are there, you will be able to see here. Okay. And so I don't have any errors. So just simply click on run, right? So what is our condition here in our program? If I value is less than or equals to n, I value is less than. Fine, let me give 1. What will happen? We'll see. See the value. What had happened? I had given n value less than I, right? What is my n value? I didn't get any output here. If you'll just closely observe, it had just took the input and nothing output is being printed, right? For the same program, let me run it once again and change my value here. Okay. So as I had compiled, no errors are there. Simply, I was just running it again. So now I'm giving the value as 5. See now, you got the output as hello, right? So what is that constraint you are providing there? I should be, if I is greater than, if n is greater than I, then you will print the hello. Whereas if your n value is less than I, you doesn't get any output. So this is what the constraint which we are using here. So this is the if conditional statement. So what is the syntax you are doing? If you're writing condition in the normal brackets, and then you are giving a flower bracket, and then I'm just printing it. Simply you close this if loop, and then you just close this main loop. Then that's it, right? So this is what the simple if program. So whatever the conditions you wanted to keep in that, you can keep and you can try it out. Okay. And then next comes, we'll move on with our if else. Okay. So yeah, if is done, and then next we'll move on with the if else. So the if else statement may have an optional else block. That is, if condition is true, I'll run some code. Else, if the condition is false, in the previous if statement, we didn't get any output. So what we wanted to do, if I don't give the condition properly also, it should tell me something, right? Whether you had given some wrong input or like that, it should indicate me something. So you are using if else, true or false. If true, what you wanted to do. If false, if what you wanted to do. So that one will be executed with your if else statement, and the syntax is as follows. If you will give some condition here and flower brackets, and then you will run the code if test expression is true. And for else, you're not going to give any condition. You just check out. Only for if you're in the parentheses, you will write the condition. If this is true, you'll execute this. Else, you'll execute this block of statement. Okay. So this is what the simple syntax of the if else statement. And next comes your evaluation of if else statement. That is, if the text expression is evaluated to true, statement inside the body will be executed. Statement inside the body of else are skipped from the execution, right? If condition is true, you will execute if part, and else part will be you will not execute that part. That is, you will quit from else. If the test expression is evaluated to false, then what will happen? Statement inside the body of else are executed, and whatever the statements you had given inside if will not be executed. So this is what the evaluation of if else. Okay. If condition is true, you will execute if block. Else, that is, if condition is false, you will not execute if, and you will execute the else part. This is what you need to remember when you are trying to use the if else block. Okay, right. So here comes an example code. So hash include stdio.h and then void main. Then I had declared some variable I is equals to 5, and same like if I had given, but only thing is we had included extra else here. Yeah, so printf enter n value, you are reading some value into n, and then again as usual you are checking if I is less than or equals to n. I value is 5. 5 is less than or equals to n. So if I'll give above 5, then I'll get hello welcome, or else you will get the bye bye as output. Okay, so we'll check out this also once. Yeah, so once we'll check out this example also with our IDE. So generally for generally for your C++, you'll use this dev C++ IDE. Okay, right. So yeah, yes. So this was the if else program, right? So what we try to do, the same program we had executed here, hash include stdio.h and then void main. Okay, and I declared I is equals to 5, and then you are reading the n value, and if I is less than or equals to n, you are telling hello welcome, or else you are telling bye bye. So what is our condition here? 5 is less than or equals to n, then you will get hello welcome. If your 5, I mean if n value is less than I, then what will happen, we'll see. Okay, so always whenever you will write the code first, you need to compile that. So if you just closely observe, no errors are there. We'll just run this. Yes, enter n value. See, I'm giving less than 5. What will happen? What is the condition? If I'll give n value is greater than I, only then I should get hello welcome. But I had given the value 4. What is my I value here? It was 5. So that was the reason what happened here. Okay. So let us compile and run it again. So now I'm giving value as 6. So what you got the output? Else. Hello, welcome. Right? So if my I value is I value is less than n, then you are getting hello, welcome. If I value is greater than n, then what is happening? You are getting bye bye. So if the condition is true, you will get hello, welcome. If the condition is false, you will directly execute the else part and you are getting bye bye. Okay. So this is what is your if else statement. Okay. And then next comes our switch case. Right? Switch statement or switch case. What are it is? Both are same. Okay, and the here switch is also again your keyword. Okay, you need not forget about that because I had given capital letter in that just in order to highlight that one. Okay, so instead of writing many if else statements, you can use the switch statement. So if I wanted to write any number of if else statements, simply I can go with the switch statement. And yes, you can also have if else ladder also. That is, you can give the condition if, again else if, again else. So like that, you will be having different types of if else's also. Else if and if else ladder. So whatever the thing, the concept is same. If condition is true, then you will give, you will execute block of statement. Else, you will execute. In else again, if you wanted to keep condition, then you will use else if. Right? So like that, you can use different types. Yeah. So this is a concept of switch statement. As I said multiple times, if you wanted to use if else, then you can better move on with your switch case. So the switch selects one of many code blocks to be executed. So I can write n number of cases here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to n number of cases you can write. So depending on the cases, whichever you wanted to select, that one you can select by using the switch. So in the syntax is like this: switch, expression, and then you'll open your flower brackets, you will write n number of cases, and for each you will use the break statement also, right? Especially break is used even in your switch case in order to close, that is in order to quit from that particular block. And finally you will be writing some default statement. That is, I hadn't given any case related to that, then some default statement has to be given in order to make the user understand that you had given some wrong output, or sorry, some wrong input. So this is what the switch case syntax is. So we'll just see what is break and then default, and also then we will see a small code for switch statement. Okay. So what are the evaluation steps of your switch expression? The switch expression is evaluated once. The value of expression is compared with the values of each case. So once you will enter into switch case, right, switch statement, and then after entering, you will compare the values with the different cases, case 1, case 2, case 3, right? If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed. And the break statement breaks out the switch block and stops the execution. As I said, if you wanted to come out some particular case or some particular block, then you will be using the break. And the default statement is optional, and it specifies some code to run if there is no cases match. So what did I said? After giving all some number of cases, user should know what if some he may give some wrong option. So that's some default statement. Say that you had given some wrong option. Like that, you need to give some default statement so that user will be able to understand, but it is an optional, right? It is not mandatory that you need to provide a default statement for the switch program. Okay. So yeah, for program we'll see later. So first let us move on with the break. So break, when C reaches the break keyword, it breaks out the switch block, especially with the switch block we have seen previously. I had shown with you for the loopings and all this break statement in your previous lecture. Okay. This will stop the execution of more code and case testing inside the block. And when a match is found, the job is done. It's time for a break. There is no need for more testing. A break can save a lot of execution time because it ignores the execution of all rest of the code in the switch blocks. That is, if you write break for each and every case in your switch case, once a proper case is found, you'll just execute and you'll just quit. You need not check and you need not go for the next cases. That is the main purpose of break, why we are using in your switch case. Okay. And then finally, the default keyword specifies some code to run if there is no case match. So default, I just wanted to show that nothing is there, right? So then some statement I have to provide for the user. So this is what the usage of default keyword in your switch case. Okay. So now let us see the same example in dev C++. Okay. So coming back to our editor, IDE, right? Yes. So in this program, switch case program, what I was trying to do is simply, I wanted to print all the days of a week, right? So we are having 7 days, right? So if I give 1, it should print Monday. If I give 2, it will give Tuesday. If I give 3, it should give Wednesday, right? So like that, it should give all this days. And if I give some other option, so obviously we'll have 7 days. So 7 numbers I can give. If I give some 10, 11, then what will happen? I need to provide some default message for the user. So I had used some default message also. And then finally closing of your switch and then returning 0. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to give a number and you are trying to get what that day is. Either it is Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So first, yes, hash include stdio.h. Then I had started with int main. Yes, if you closely observe in the previous, I had given void main. Now I had given int main. It depends upon your ID. Some IDs will accept int main. Some IDs will accept main. Some IDs will accept void main. So all are same. If you are writing int main, you need to include return 0 at the last statement. That is just before closing your main. Okay, that was the only difference you need to make sure when you're writing the code. So what I'm doing here is I took some variable of data type int, that is day, and printf enter your choice between 1 to 7. Why I was taking between 1 to 7 only? Because we had only 7 days, right? And for each one I had given some one day. Okay, so that those values between 1 to 7, that value I was reading into the variable day. And next, so this was a syntax switch expression. So what I was taking here is this value, integer value, I'm just keeping it into your switch case, right, into the switch. Then you should start opening your flower brackets. N number of cases you can include here into this switch. So what personally I was doing is just I wanted to store those all 6 days values into that, right? I hadn't given Sunday. Yeah, I had given. So how we are going to write first? Case 1, printf Monday and break. If you forget break, you will directly move on to the case 2 also. So in switch case, you have to remember that you are going to give the break condition for each and every case. Only then what will happen? You will not directly move to the next case. Okay. So if you are giving a day value as 1, then you will get output as Monday. And then simply you are breaking. If you are giving case 2, right, then it will give Tuesday. So if I give 3, Wednesday, 4, Thursday, 5, Friday, 6, Saturday, 7, Sunday. Other than that, if I'll give, what will happen? I'll get a wrong choice. So till here, my switch loop was open. I mean, switch case was open. And then finally, I'm just giving return 0 because I had written int main over there. And then you're closing your main function, right? So this is what is happening with the switch case. So let us once what is that, compile and then run the code. Yes, after compilation, no errors are there. You just simply run. So the given, enter your choice between 1 to 7. Yes, I'm giving 3. Then I got Wednesday. Okay, again you just compile that. If I give 9, see there, you got the wrong choice. So what is happening here? If you're trying to give between 1 to 7, only then you'll get some value. So what is happening? N number of times those cases can be repeated, right? So with the same example, we will also try to do another programs with the switch case, and then we will check it out, okay? So this is what regarding switch case and also the program, okay? Yeah. And coming back to our slides. So break and default. Yes, so that is what the conditional statements are there in our C programming, right? So in the previous lecture, we had seen unconditional branching, and now we had seen conditional branching. If possible, I'll let you upload another one small switch case program where you can give multiple options also with the switch case and in a single execution of time. So in this current video, I had given you one single expression, that is each time if you run you will give the value and then you will quit, right? So now in the next one more small program I'll create and I'll let you know in one execution, that is once if you run how many number of times you can execute that particular code, that also I'll show you, okay? So for this video, it's different types of conditional statements are done. So one small video for the switch case we'll do, and then we'll move on with your conditional branching. Okay, sorry, not conditional branching, it is looping or iterative statements we'll see. Done. Okay, thank you everyone.